Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Hello, I'm Billy Cobbin, with Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
Hey, what's up? We are here. We are frozen this morning. Toy Williamson, Walker County Fed, Rural Credit Union. You can't say Walker County Fed. You don't want to be like the Fed.
Right. Well, it sounds kind of like the penitentiary or something.
Yeah. Where you been at the Fed? Speaking of which, I watched The Longest Yard last night. You ever seen that movie with Adam Sandler?
It's been a long time.
It's where he goes to prison because he's running from the police and he shaved a bunch of points in the NFL and he ends up being like this, he was a star quarterback. I don't even know how they picked him to be the star quarterback for this movie because he doesn't have the physique of a football player.
Not at all.
So that's what we did last night. Watched a little Longest Yard and got ready for the burr this morning.
That is an understatement.
And Toy, it came out of nowhere. I was taking down Christmas lights, and I was taking down decoration. I left a bunch of those inflatables in the yard, so they all had water in them. And you can't put those away when they have water in them. And so I had to move them around, and then I put them on the front porch and let them run overnight. And then Bridget told me this morning, she's like, hey, turn on the light. The H-E-B delivery person's coming, and because she buys the groceries and they deliver them. And she bought them yesterday at like 3 o'clock. Nobody wanted to pick up the order. So they didn't pick it up till overnight. And it's because it's like a service. People can pick it up if they want. So anyway, long story short is I had to go move all those things. And it reminded me of my Fargo days because I was still in my sleeping jammies, in my sleeping shorts. I didn't have a shirt on and I ran outside real quick.
No, wouldn't happen. I cranked my car about 15 minutes before I needed to go outside and get in it so it would be warm when I got in it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why when I walked in I said, I don't know how you do how y'all did North Dakota.
We didn't. That's why we came down.
I couldn't have done it. It gets below 80 and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, it was the coldest that we experienced there was 32 below.
Oh, no.
With a 52 below wind chill. And, but you're thinking about it. We were 3 hours from the Canadian border. We never went to Canada once. I just wanted to drive up there and cross the line. I'm sure if we would have stayed there, we would have. But
Well, as long as I was in something that was heated, I probably would have not mind looking out the window.
yeah, well, that's
But I don't want to get out and look around. I'm good.
but that's the thing, Toy. It's like if you think about it, it's like here when it's so hot outside, you're basically staying indoors, and it's the same way up there. You're indoors all the time, and so the cold that you experience is getting out from your car, and the houses stay warm. They build those houses really well. And that's something that's really neat. I mean, the walls are really thick on all the houses. They all have basements. The basements stay a pretty standard temperature throughout the year regardless. But
What's the purpose of basements there? I know there is one.
because the ground is just so frozen that all the plumbing and everything is
Okay, has to be indoors.
Yeah, it's all the way that everything's designed is the plumbing is a lot farther down, and so that's all the main plumbing is. You got to go way below. Here, you could have pipes exposed, and you're pretty much fine. There, I forget there's code that you've got to go. Hopefully, no one from Fargo's watching. They're not. They have their big football game today. They're all in Frisco, by the way. They go down like 6 feet or something.
Okay.
So every house up there pretty much has a basement. This is why the cold is here. I'm sure all you Bearcat fans aren't happy about this, but who cares because you're in the FBS. North Dakota State's still in the FCS. North Dakota State, for the 11th time in school history, the 11th time is playing in the national championship in Frisco tonight.
So Texas was being friendly, as we always are, and brought a little chili for them.
Yeah. Well, they brought it with them. That's what happened. They got behind
So
them.
we can blame it on them?
Yeah,
We don't like them anyway.
Blame it on the don't you knows. You betcha they brought it. You know, I was planning on going to Frisco today. I wanted to go up there. You know, I made friends in Fargo but I learned people, you know, sometimes you can't get what you thought you could get. And what do I mean by that? I thought, man, you know, I used to broadcast Division I sports. It'll be easy for me to get a press pass, and I wanted to go down there and shoot photos. And you know what? They told me no. They said, sorry, you're not associated with any of these teams, and we don't have space for you. So the NCAA declined
Your request.
my request for credentials, and so I said, fine, I just won't go then. But because I'm not going to pay, you know, $300, whatever. It's like $150 minimum, and then up to $300 for a ticket. I'm like, I don't have money for that. And then here's the deal: it was a long shot, anyways, Toy, because Bridget she starts her 4 days in a row, 12-hour shifts again tomorrow. Last week was brutal. I mean, I'm so thankful that she has this new job, but it's like one of those deals to where, I don't know, like a doctor. So whenever you go to your residency, you have like 3 choices, and they write down their top choice, their middle choice, and their last. And I'm not saying that where she at's bad. It's a great place where she's at, but we knew that the hours at this place were going to be a lot different than the other 2 places. Well, she had interviewed with 2 other places, didn't get those jobs, so she got the place she's at. And we're thankful. We're so thankful for that. But it's been a challenge because she's working 12-hour shifts. And with our family schedule, I have a lot more respect for her now because I had to spend 2 complete days with the 2 babies last week. I thought it would be harder on New Year's Day, but it was actually harder on Saturday than it was in the middle of the week to spend with them. And I love my children. I'm like, man, I can only do this like once a week.
Well, I think that
that makes me sound
after
bad.
After raising 3, I had the 2 oldest ones together, and of course, then we have the 8-year-old that's about to be 9. But I think that we get used to our daily work lives, and we're not spending that time at home. That's not part of our daily routine, our daily schedule. So I think it kind of probably throws us off a little bit when we have to do that. And they have lots of energy, and they're still learning that they don't rule the roost. They have to do what we want them to do, and that's still it. You know, my older kids, I still want to strangle them sometimes because they don't mind their mama anymore.
Do you feel like it was easier when you had your first 2 than now?
Absolutely.
Do you feel like maybe you had more energy and all those kind of things?
Absolutely. And I mean, even though I was very dedicated to my job, and I did my, you know, we were smaller then, so we all wore lots of hats back then. I definitely think being in my mid-20s, raising kids was a lot easier than in my mid-40s.
Whatever parent, and I love my children. I know you love all your children too, but whatever parent told me, I'd like to meet them and shake my fist at them positively, that whoever told me that, oh, man, you're going to have so much more energy. Bro, you are out of your mind. I told
Agreed.
Bridget the other day, I said, I love my babies. I love them, and I wouldn't change a thing about how we did anything. Except I would have loved to have children in my 20s.
Absolutely. There were different challenges, actually, with raising in two different generations. And it's funny because their personalities, really all three of them were completely different. But none of them were disciplinary issues. My son, my oldest one, was rambunctious like most boys are, but the two older ones were, they fought a lot. They argued among themselves. They agitated each other, and so that was where I spent most of my energy with them. They stayed busy with sports and extracurricular stuff. Both of them did until probably mid-high school. And then with Kylan, she has 8A that we do gymnastics during the week, and she started raising rabbits this year for 4-H, and so that's really the only thing we have with her. And because she's an only child, she tends to entertain, which is nice. Especially, my job is a lot more demanding as far as mental anguish, if you will,
Y'all got a lot
these
going on,
days.
yeah.
So. Anyways, but definitely see a difference raising kids in your 20s versus kids in your 40s.
Yeah, I'm just glad that that I have children now, because I used to sit around with so many people and they'd start talking about kids and I'd feel left out of the conversation, because I was 35, no children, and here's all my friends. Oh yeah, well this and that, and every one of them it seemed.
Well, now I go to the school. I'm thinking these people probably think I'm her grandmother. I don't connect with the parents. And that's another thing with Darren and Lindsay is I made some of my best lifelong friends with the parents that we spent so much time together, and so it was inevitable that we would establish those relationships. Well, I haven't had that same opportunity with Kylan that I did with them. So
well, thanks for giving me some hope about that.
Yeah,
Really
I
appreciate
mean, and a lot of it's, I'm having my first grandchild. My son and his wife are having a baby, and she's due in
How cool is
April, early April. So I'm going to have a grandchild and a 9-year-old. So
Yeah, that's cool though.
It's definitely different. So I think it's a going trend in my family. My mom did the same thing. So.
Yeah, but I love that dynamic. And one thing that I love about it too is, especially, and again, I don't regret having children later, and I'm thankful that I have my two little ones. If I knew that they were going to be the way they are, I would have gladly, back then, even if someone would have told me, I would have waited, because they're just tremendous little ones. I love them to pieces. But I was thinking, it's so weird that we're talking about all this, because I was thinking last night about my grandmother, and I miss her so much. She and I had a really special relationship. I talked to my grandma every single day of my adult life, and in fact, I loved her so much, I even found a little rent house literally right around the corner from her back in the day in Georgetown. She lived in downtown Georgetown, and a buddy of mine had a rent house that was just literally right around the corner. From her backyard, I could see that house. And I said, this is perfect. I'm like right next to Nanny, and that house in downtown Georgetown, I was paying $600 a month. The guy offered me that home for $60,000, and I told him no way. And now I went online, and that house sold for $450,000. It was 800 square feet, 2-bedroom, tiny bedroom, pretty good sized living room. For that house, the living room was a little bit smaller than this room, but for an 800 square foot house, that's not a bad size.
Location, you're going to pay for that location.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, if I would have had that now, I could have Airbnb'd that, because downtown Georgetown's always popping, and for a smaller community, that's a really sought after area. But I loved it because my grandma was right around the corner. But it was weird we're talking about all this, because I was thinking last night. It's really funny how everything connects. I remember a photo that the local newspaper took of 4 generations of our family, and it was my great-grandma, my grandmother, my mom, and my sister. And that was just cool. I just distinctively remember that photo being put in the newspaper. And, I've had friends that have 5, even I think 6 generations that were alive at once. Because all the parents, the moms had all had children like 18, 19, 20.
Yep.
Every one of them. And so I remember my friend Kenny growing up, and he's like, yeah, my great-great-grandmother's coming over to dinner. I was like, you're what? He's like, oh, yeah. I was like, does she drive? Oh, yeah, she drives. She was like in her 80s. I mean, isn't that cool, though, to think about?
It's insane.
Isn't that nuts? You don't hear that too much anymore. But I remember him talking about his great-great-grand. And I think to this day, I think his great-great-grandma's still alive. And I'm like, and he's 40 years old,
It's insane. I can't even imagine. All my grandparents died probably 15. The last one, I think, was probably close to 15 years ago. And yeah. And, my
tough.
husband, Brandon, recently lost his grandmother, and she turned 90 in June, and I think my months run together. But anyways, a couple months ago, she passed away. So there were a couple generations there still alive. So I don't know. My stepdad, his dad is 100.
Wow.
And is still alive. So. Anyways,
there was a guy, a friend of mine had posted, they work at a assisted living facility in Georgetown, and she had posted about a gentleman there. They just celebrated his 108th birthday.
You know what? I think I might be mad. Like,
This guy was still walking. He was smiling.
I ache at 40, almost 47 years old. I can't imagine what I'm going to be doing at 108.
As you sit there and say you're aching, I'm 40, Toy, and my knuckles hurt. My arm is hurting. This arm's hurting. I have weird. In fact, when I was like 23, I went to the doctor for all this, and they told me that it was something called fibromyalgia. They ruled out every single thing, and I refused to believe it because I did a lot of, and I'm not a doctor, so here you go. The doctor tells you something. They tried to put me on all this medicine, and I just didn't want to take medicine forever, so I just refused to believe it. But as I've gotten older, the symptoms of that have gotten worse. One of them is I'm really, really tired all the time. Mm-hmm. And I know I don't eat good and exercise, but even when I still felt tired and wore out. But the other thing is I get weird pains all over my body that, as I'm sitting here,
Is it like nerve pain?
Yeah, it's weird. It's not even nerve. It's just like skin pain. I don't know how to, right now I have a weird pain that's like the size of my thumbnail right here, just out of the blue. And if people like Bridget, it's like she'll come up and push on me, just bumping into me, and it's sore. Like, especially my elbows. It's really weird. And my joints, all my fingers, not arthritis. And even right now, this is hurting. Like, how does that hurt? And I've just learned to, I don't know, ignore it, I guess.
I have
it's weird.
A lot of back pain, and it's not as bad since I've lost weight, but I have a lot of back pain, have since I was probably about 16 years old. And some days are better than others, but you don't have a choice. You just gotta, it'd be nice to be on pain pills and muscle relaxers, but then I'd be useless, and yeah, we don't want to go there. But anyways, just kind of do what you have to do.
My uncle doesn't like to get rid of things. And a while back, he had to go to the hospital, and my cousin had went over to help clean up a few things at his home. And one of the things that he found in the medicine cabinet was Vicodin. He's not popping pills. My uncle's 90 years old. He's not. Right. But he's from that generation to where you save things. You don't get rid of anything because you went through a lot, right?
Right.
And so he would go to the dentist. They would give him the Vicodin. He never took it, but he would keep it.
In case he needed it.
Yeah, and so my cousin threw it all away because he was over there cleaning up his house while he was in the hospital. And when he got back, he was apparently very upset about it. And it was funny because I was talking to my cousin about it, and he goes, man, that stuff was 25 years old. And he's like, I told him that. And he's like, you don't need it. He goes, well, what happens if something happens and I have to have it? He goes, they will prescribe it to you. You don't need it.
And there's a good chance your insurance pay for it. It'd be a small fee, but
yeah. So
that's funny.
Luckily, there was never any late night cars driving by over there at 2 a.m. and exchanges going on.
He wasn't dealing.
None of that kind. So, well, hey, welcome in. Thanks for being with us here on this very chilly start to the week, January the 6th, as we get rolling episode number 424. You already know Toy Williamson from Walker County Federal Credit Union. We appreciate their generous support, and they've been with us since we almost started, and here we are continuing to rock and roll. We've got a lot working on this year. One thing that we're going to do on the tentative date for this toy is on February the 8th, because I believe That's the Saturday before Valentine's Day. You don't know this yet, so here's some breaking news for you. Our foundation sponsors.
Before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, just what happened?
I said, and it's before the Super Bowl.
It's before, yeah. So breaking news for Toy and our foundation sponsors at no additional charge, because you guys have helped us and supported us so much. We are going to include you automatically in our second annual, and I say second annual, I'll explain why in a minute, our second annual, I'm trying to think of Share the Love fundraiser. I couldn't think of what it was. Our HLI class. Were you on the HLI committee by any chance? You weren't. Okay, I didn't know if you were or not.
I think we have had a couple of employees that were part of that, but no. I did participate in HLI, but don't ask me what class because I can't tell you. I just know it was the best class ever.
Yeah. Well, we were the greatest class ever, so we changed the motto to work. But it was cool because our class, I had nothing to do with this. It was some great folks in our class came up with this to do a drive to help senior citizens. Okay. And so we started that last year with HLI, and I reached out to our class. I said, hey, I'd like to continue this so it's not just a one and done thing. And I said, can we continue it under Hello Huntsville? Because I always wanted to have two kind of big events that we do each year. Of course, the other one is our Rays of Hope that we do every year now in the summer. And so now we are doing a senior citizen drive. And this is aside from other things that we team up with Elliot Herzlich, who does such wonderful work in the community. We'll still do some stuff for CASA this year like we did last year. But the event that we're going to be having on that day, on February the 8th, I'll include all of our foundation sponsors in there as contributors, because you guys really do help our platform, and we wouldn't be able to do that kind of stuff. So that will take place, and you'll hear more about it as we're finalizing all that. It's going to be a little over a month now. But we are going to be accepting items to give to senior citizens here in our community. Did it last year, Toy. It was crazy how much stuff people donated. And the idea was create these bags to give to folks. So we created like 41 bags and gave them to the senior citizens at Parkview Place Apartments over there at the retirement home. And before we knew it, we were like, we have so much more stuff to give away. And it didn't make sense to do the bags because there was things in those bags that some people didn't need. So we took all the remainder of all that stuff over to the senior villages of Huntsville, and we did like a shop for what you need. And I have never seen so much toilet paper in all my life. I mean, we had tons of stuff, toothbrushes, toothpaste, all that. And it was really cool because when we went to the senior villages, we just laid out tables. We organized and separated the stuff, and people came through, and by the time we left, we'd almost given away every single thing that we had there. And it just went to show that these things are really needed by our senior citizen community. So we're going to do that again. You'll see more details about that. So if y'all see y'all's logo pop up on that, that's why. So thank y'all for y'all's support.
Oh, you're
no
welcome.
additional charge, by the way.
You're welcome.
So we're looking forward to it. So keep your eyes open for the Share the Love fundraiser. Again, that will be taking place. It's going to be a donation drive-through, but we will put boxes around town, and I'm sure you guys will be cool with having one there at the credit at the cred.
At the cred.
At the cred.
Cred
so
Fed.
I want to make T-shirts that say like I'm with the cred. You know, just, I'm credible.
Incredible.
Yeah, I don't think people would wear it if I made it Toy. So. Go to the credit union. Support Walker County Federal Credit Union is what I'm trying to say. They take care of folks here.
On Fridays, we have cookies, too.
Yeah, how's that going? Are you in charge of any? Karen said she was off cookie duty like 4 months ago or something.
Paula's doing them. She burned them. Is that what she said?
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah, Paula has been doing them. So
are people coming in eating them?
Oh, yeah.
So the word's getting out now about the cookies.
Yep. On Fridays, Paula starts baking them at sometime between 8 and 9, and they're usually out on a dish by the time we open at 9 o'clock.
Perfect. Are y'all doing a white macadamia nut dough yet?
I think she did. I think they're doing, like right now they have snickerdoodle out, and I don't know if that's for the seasonal, it's kind of seasonal type of thing. People eat snickerdoodle all the time, and chocolate chip. So. And
y'all are, and by the way, when you go in, we call it credit union cookies on Fridays. When you go in over there, it's the legit chippery, or the legit Otis Spunkmeyer dough.
Yes.
Y'all aren't playing around with like some off-brand.
Nope, that's what we're getting, and you should see how they send it to us. And P.S. Dry Ice does burn.
Did they deliver it in like the dry ice buckets?
They deliver it in big styrofoam coolers with dry ice. Anyways, and I was helping clean up whenever we got it this last time. I had a true ditzy moment. Anyways, and I was trying to see what they used to ship it. So I was, anyway, because we get HelloFresh and stuff like that at home, and they use ice packs to, like gel packs.
But
to
they don't
pack
use
it.
the dries, yeah.
They don't use dries, which is probably a good thing, because somebody would be like me and like, oh, what is this? And then as I'm grabbing it, my eyes hit do not touch.
Oh.
And so one of my little fingers got a little burn for a minute. That stuff does burn. And it stays frozen for a while also, because we ran out of freezer space because of the cookies. And so
I brought y'all so much trouble over there, Toy. My bad.
and so we had a board meeting like a day or so right after the cookies were delivered. So I used that cooler and the dry ice to keep my bagged ice cold for the board meeting the next day or whatever, and it worked.
Perfect. Well,
Worked for a couple of days, so.
Well, great. Well, go by and see them, Walker County Federal Credit Union. We appreciate all that they do here in this community. We'll talk a little bit more with Toy about what's going on at the credit union here in just a few moments. Let's take a quick break. I do not have them yet, but I am certain I will get them. So I will go ahead and say we will give away some Cafe Texan gift cards this month. Tiffany has been so good to us, and I'm pretty confident. So I'm just stepping out on a limb saying, yes, we will have the cards. I usually text her and say, hey, do you mind if we have a few? And she says yes. So some months we don't get them. Other months we do. I don't like to hit them up every single month, but I'm pretty sure that they'll be cool this month. So we will give away a Cafe Texan gift card. Just give us a few days to get them, but I know that we will. And all you got to do today, I've already made the keyword, and it's something that Toy will really enjoy. Just for you. Just for
me?
Just for you, Toy.
Absolutely. Something I despise.
Keyword cold.
The only thing I like cold's my ice cream and my beverages.
Definitely don't like the cookies. The cookie's cold because you'll burn your finger. Keyword is cold, and all you have to do is text that in on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line, COLD. Text that in along with your name to 936-339-0139. We'll give away a Cafe Texan gift card today. They'll probably be about $20 to $25 value, I would assume. So, again, cold along with your name on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line at 936-339-0139. We'll step aside. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about possibly some wintry weather coming up later this week as we continue to talk about the weather and all the things that Toy enjoys about this week coming up. So stay with us. We'll be back in a moment. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville here on a Monday. Stay with us, please.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp, Media and Community Outreach Minister here at First Baptist Church, Huntsville. Let me ask you, when's the last time you felt real hope? Maybe it's been a while since you've been to church, or maybe you've never felt connected to a church at all. Well, friends, that's okay. Here at First Baptist, we're a harbor of hope, and we welcome everyone just as they are. We have programs throughout the week for all ages to come together, ask questions, grow in faith, and find the hope that only Jesus Christ can bring. Whether you're looking for a fresh start or a community to call home, we'd love for you to join us. Come experience something real. For more information, visit fbchuntsville.org. First Baptist Church, Huntsville, a harbor of hope.
In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas. Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life. This is KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
This is Deneen with Guardian Defense, and you're listening to Spirit Radio.
Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today.
All right, friends, welcome back as we continue on promoting the good here in Huntsville. And, well, we always just love being able to sit here and to chat with you each and every day. 424 episodes into this toy. And I just
thought you were about to say 420-something days a year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
27 degrees as you're waking up this morning. It was a little bit colder than that. Good thing we don't go in Celsius because it would really scare you off. I said -3 outside. Oh, I'm sorry. If you're in Fargo, you're supposed to say 3 below. I got ridiculed on that, by the way. A guy pulled me aside at the radio station that I worked at, and he said, "Hey, man, you're doing a great job, but you don't say negative up here. Because if you say it, people will know that you're not, they'll know right away that, like, you don't understand our culture." It's like, what are you talking about, dude? He goes, well, we say under. So if it's like -15, we don't say like -15. We'll say -15 or 15 below or 15 under. I was like, dude, y'all got too much. See, this is what happens when you're in a place where it's so cold that everything just gets sluggish. Yeah, and you've got so much time to think about things. Okay, we're a little bit more fast. Although East Texas is a little slow pace, which is why I like it. But people just need to chill out, man.
Apparently they do.
Somebody told me when I decided to leave there, and I don't read the media. I don't read into what people in the media or people. Let me word it like this: I don't read into what people think of me. Like, who cares? When you're in the media, there's always going to be haters.
Right. These days people are critical of everybody. Anyways.
I mean, I have haters in Huntsville now because I left Sam Houston to go to North Dakota State. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I had to do what was, and I talked to one person about it. They're like, yeah, it really, man, it really burns, man. I know you did it, but I'm like, I had to do what's best for my family, okay? Sorry. I mean, if I would have had a competitive salary to work, and nothing on the university, it wasn't as the station I worked at, and I was like, I could not support my family on what I was making. There was no way.
And you had an offer?
And I had an offer, and I tried to force an offer at Florida. That didn't work out. I got in a plane, showed up, went to the athletic office. I said, hey, I'm here for that job. And they said, Rob, we appreciate you coming, but we already have somebody picked for that. That's why we didn't call you. But that initiative, and thank a really good guy named Mark Vandermeer down in Houston. He's the voice of the Texans. He's the one that encouraged me to go do that because he did it with Miami and got the job with the Hurricanes way back in the day before he became the voice of the Houston Texans. And Mark encouraged me. He said, get on a plane, go fly. And I'll never forget because I was working, here locally at the station, and I'm not a liar. So I just said, hey, I won't be coming in tomorrow. And I didn't lie. I said, I have something personal that I have to take care of. And
in
it was.
Florida.
And it was personal. It was personal. So I didn't lie. I didn't say, I just said.
Going 4 states away.
Yeah. So got on a plane, flew out there, came back, that evening and didn't get the gig, but I met some great people there that connected me to ultimately how I ended up getting that opportunity. And, sometimes in life, I think if you feel good about something, I always say pray for it first. As a person of faith, I believe you got to pray for things and feel at peace about it. But I felt at peace. I knew it was the right. And now when I go back and look back, and I love this, Toy, because we get wrapped up in these seasons sometimes, and we don't understand why we go through what we go through. And then when things don't work out the way that we hope they would, we feel like a failure, and we're not. And that's a lie of the enemy. But I go back and look, and I needed those 8-9 months to kind of just clear my mind. There was a lot of just emotional distress and other things that I was going through, and just stress in general, and I needed just to get away. And I thought I'd be there forever. I thought, man, the NFL is going to call the NBA, and that was a whole different story, and it didn't work out that way, but I don't regret any of it. Do I miss it? Yeah, I miss it, especially right now. I mean, that team is back in the national championship, and they're in Frisco, and all the people that I know are, hey, we're down here doing. I'm like, man, I miss that. But you know what? Sometimes things work out the way that they're supposed to.
I think sometimes it takes us stepping away to realize what we really need to do or want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You don't realize. I don't know. I had an experience when in my earlier 20s when my kids were younger, and or the 2 older kids were younger, and I briefly left the credit union for a couple of months, and I realized once I was gone that's where I was supposed to be, and it took me doing that to appreciate what I had there, even though I think it was a good time in my life. I was going through a lot of personal changes, and I think I needed that too. I think in my mind I was like, okay, I've had to do this piece of it. Now let me see if career-wise, and actually leaving there is what pushed me to finish my bachelor's degree.
Cool.
So, anyways, but I think sometimes that happens, and it's okay. So
it's like it was weird because I'll never forget, like the first few months we were up there, I was like, I wasn't questioning that we left, but I was like, I really miss being back in Huntsville. I miss the people, and the biggest thing we really started to miss was the family. Like, it's so hard to be, especially Bridget has such a large family, it's so hard to be away from your loved ones and those people that you're always around. And I think the realization for me hit whenever it was November and we were in the middle of basketball season. We were still playing football, but I was also in the middle of basketball season, and I was only home like 3 days out of that entire month.
Wow.
And I told Bridget, I said, get on a plane and just go back home for 3 weeks, because I said, I'm going to be gone and I don't want you to be. So she did. She left and went back and stayed in Georgetown for 3 weeks while I was gone. And whenever they came back and I saw them, and what did it for me was my little girl, Braylon, running to me in tears because she hadn't seen me in 3 weeks.
Aww.
And I was like, I can't do this.
She was excited.
Yeah, and I told Bridget, I was like, and I was making great money. I mean, it was everything I could have imagined. But I said, I just don't know if I can do this because, and I could see it in Bridget's eyes too. And, sometimes we need a temporary change to help us with our perspective and the way that we see things. And I can assuredly say that there was no way that things were going to work, right away if I would have stayed here. There was just financially, there was absolutely no way that it wasn't going to work the way that we needed it. And for me being, as a new dad and we had our little one, like the realization of like, oh my gosh, how is this going to work? it wasn't going to work. It wasn't. And there were things with my previous job, not being negative, but there were things that I was told I had to start doing that I just didn't feel comfortable with. And I was like, you get to that point to where it's okay to like not be comfortable with some things, but then there's some things that are like, okay, I'll be cool with things until here. And it was like, and that's where it got. It was like here, and I was like, I can't. And it wasn't anything bad. It was just for me. I was like, I can't go to that next level. That's not what I'm called to do. And so we had to make that decision. And now I look back on it. I talk about it a lot on this show though, because I want to help other people that may be going through a similar situation. Is I will say this: find joy where you're at, regardless. You could be in a job that you're just miserable, things aren't going your way, but find joy where you can, even in the midst of that adversity. And then pray about things, and I believe a door will open, just like it did for us. And, you know, if I could have left the year prior, I probably would have, to be honest. But I couldn't. I had to go through a few more things. Then the door opened, we left, we came back, and that gave me time to start this platform. And what I'm thankful for is we would have never came back. I wouldn't be hanging out with you here.
Sure wouldn't.
Wouldn't be hanging out with the toy, the T-Dub. So, anyways, just wanted to, you know, provide a little bit of encouragement for all you. Many people are joining us this morning. I want to give some shout-outs like we normally do here in this segment. How about Jamie Saucier of Saucier Woodworks? Did you go out to Lone Star Lights this year?
I did not make it out there. We had a busy December. Busy.
Next year, you got to make it out there, because Santa Saucier may be there.
Oh.
He's there. I don't want to give it a, you know, there may be some little ones listening, so I don't want to, you know, let out the magic of who Santa is. But there could be Santa at Lone Star Lights next year. Good morning to you, Jamie. Good to see you. Lee Cooper joining us this morning, saying good morning, Huntsville. Rick Boning at Tomorrow's Promise and 0 Degree Candy. Good morning. How about Steph Valley saying good morning? And she is saying, blessing for this sunrise.
She kept my babies while we were in Marble Falls last week.
You got family in Marble Falls?
My husband's family has a lake house.
Oh, it's over Lake LBJ out there, right?
It's not.
Or Buchanan?
I don't remember what it is. It's off of Colorado River. I don't know. I think it is Lake LBJ.
I think, yeah.
Like it's right across, like we're right across from the dam, so.
Yeah, I think that's where you're at. That's cool. I had no idea.
Yeah, his mom's family's from the Austin area, and so they inherited that house when his great uncle passed away, and so the family goes up there and gets
it's
together,
a beautiful area. There's like Granite Shoals is out there and Lake LBJ. I have
Cottonwood Shores is where we are. Right, I mean,
Okay.
like Horseshoe Bay is.
That's what I was thinking of, Horseshoe Bay.
It's
Yeah,
like spitting distance from where we are.
that's cool. Yeah, I still have a little tiny piece of property I bought years ago. I'm so glad. I wish I would have bought more of them now when I had the chance to. But I bought a little lot out at Lake Buchanan years ago. And at the time, my property taxes were $30 a year for that little property. Now it's $130. Toy, it's went way up.
Oh my gosh, break the bank.
Yeah, but that area, I love that area. The hill country is beautiful. But yeah, Steph Valley does a great job. Magnolia Kennel, she is with us this morning. Autumn Wheaton chiming in, and she says, good morning, Huntsville family. It is a beautiful day, and she says, yes, I am one of those weirdos that likes the cold weather.
I'm sorry, I just don't share that same pleasure.
Michelle Cardenas, our former intern, joining us this morning, saying good morning. She is down in Austin, Texas now, working at the state capitol for her new internship. So good to see you, Michelle. Happy New Year. Quentin Glaze on with us this morning. You know, he told us about there was a cigar lounge that opened up here in town.
I heard that.
Has Huntsville ever had anything like that before?
I don't know. I don't frequent places like that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
I don't smoke cigars.
I mean, normally, you know, Toy and I, before the show, we're out there. You know, we've got a lounge here. Definitely don't at the church.
No.
But it is pretty cool. I heard some good things about it. So thanks for letting us know about that, Quentin. Jennifer Augustinetti joining us this morning, saying it's a freezing, marvelous Monday. Stay warm. Have a blessed week. Good to see you. How about Irma? Our friend, Miss Irma, joining us, saying, good morning, peeps. Have a blessed day.
Good morning, Miss Irma.
Do you ever get to hang out with Irma?
Irma is actually one of our board of directors. And so I've gotten to spend quite a bit of time with her in the last year. So
Irma is one of the...
definitely need her energy.
Yes, Irma, we need your energy and her positivity. Irma
Absolutely.
is one of my favorite... I say this about a lot of people, but she really is. She's one of my favorite people in Huntsville, and especially her mama, Lupe. I always talk about her mama. So... Irma, good morning to you. We miss Irma because she used to drive by and honk at us when we were over.
I mean, I guess she could drive by here and honk. She won't, not guaranteed to hear you, but.
I told Karen what I was going to do. I think it was last week we were talking about this. I'm going to hang a TV up here in the studio and then get a webcam. Ask Paul if I can just put a camera there in the window so then we can at least see her drive by and wave at the TV, you know.
That'll be your window, your office window.
That'll be it, yeah. Tanya Charlotte joining us saying good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. How about Kyle Kreiner? He is in Odessa, Texas this morning.
Is it cold there?
20 degrees this
Holy
morning,
moly.
Toy. 20 degrees in Odessa. How about...
If the wind wasn't blowing, it wouldn't be so bad. Also,
that's what everybody in Fargo says. That was my comment when I came, and it's true. If the wind doesn't blow, it's not that bad.
if it's not raining and the wind's not blowing, then it's really tolerable to get from your vehicle to the door to get inside.
Yeah, it's not too bad when the wind is on the chill and chill. But yeah, good morning to Miss Joy Daly saying it is cold in Palestine this morning. That is Karen's mama.
I was
Good to
supposed
see
to say,
her.
good morning, Miss Karen's mama.
Yep, good to see you on. A couple more. My sister joining us saying good morning, Huntsville. God bless you on this beautiful cold morning. It's 28 degrees in Temple where she is at this morning with the wind chill in the single digits. Christine Mitchell also joining us, and she's on your side. She says good morning. It's too cold for this Texas girl.
I know. With you.
El Turpening joining us this morning saying good morning, everyone. Phyllis Dillard joining us. Hey, there's another one. See, these ladies are all siding with you. This Texas girl hates the cold also from El Turpening.
I know people think I'm crazy, but I swear I'd rather melt. I just, like, I ache. I freeze. My teeth, my jaws get sore from clenching my teeth, and I don't know. I just can't explain it. It takes me forever to warm up. Of course, I don't ever pray for the 105-degree heat, but I definitely appreciate the warmer weather.
This was our neighborhood in one of those mornings in Fargo, Toy, just looking out the window, and I do kind of miss that. It was kind of cool to see.
I certainly wouldn't have been a visitor, not during this time of year anyway.
Yeah, this was me rolling in. That's my truck parked out there, and yeah, it was. And you see
How do you even drive in that?
I used 4-wheel drive. I had to get rid of my Kia. I had a Kia Optima. I love that car, by the way. Kia makes good cars now. Back in the day, they were like, we called them the hoopty wagons. You know, like if you had a Kia, you were chilling. You know, and then they like started making them really, really good, and I loved my Kia Optima. I bought that thing. It was a 2019, had 17,000 miles on it. And I got that car for literally $15,000.
You're not buying anything that runs for that price.
No, not anymore. And that car had leather seats, cooling and heating. It was like the luxury trim. And I loved that car. It looked good. It was sleek.
People are paying house note prices monthly for vehicles. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, I miss it all. Anyways, I don't want to go back and start thinking about the past, Toy, because then I start getting sad about my car. Anyways, because I almost had it paid off too, which was nice. Hey, a couple of things today. We always like to do this, Toy. Today is Bean Day. I don't know if that means like pinto beans, refried beans. Do you like beans?
I do.
Pinto beans, refried. What's the other one? Like when you go out to eat, the charro beans?
Charro beans. I'm pickier about charro beans, but I like pintos with a good old slice of cornbread. And
Are you a cornbread and milk also person?
when I was younger, because my grandparents did that, I
All the grandparents did it, right?
I cannot imagine eating that now. Oh my goodness! But I definitely, when I go to Mexican food restaurants, I usually get refried beans and rice.
That was a thing back then, was cornbread and milk, and you never hear of anybody doing that anymore.
I don't know what the deal was with that, but
I have no idea. My sister would probably still do it if she's still on. Today is also Apple Tree Day, National Shortbread Day. Yeah, y'all would love this. National Thank God It's Monday Day.
I don't know anybody on this planet that is thankful. Well, I guess we're thankful to see Mondays, but
oh man,
it should be a holiday.
The best thing about Monday is that Tuesday's on the way. It's also National Take Down the Christmas Tree Day. Today is also National Take Down the Christmas Tree Day.
I did mine last week.
It's so weird.
Still sitting in my living room in the box, but it's there.
I used to always want the real trees around Christmas time. The Boy Scouts got greedy with their pricing back in Georgetown. I mean, it's like $200 for a tree now. And
That's how much you pay for an artificial tree. Pretty
yeah,
lit.
they started, and I didn't mind because I enjoyed supporting them, but it just got too expensive. And but they would deliver it too. But the problem that I'm learning is with children is I don't need any more what I call unnecessary messes in my house. Dogs bring unnecessary messes. You got to clean up after the dogs. I love my dogs, but they go outside, they come in, and
They bring outside in.
yep, they bring outside in. That's an unnecessary mess that you got to clean up. But I'm going to keep my dogs. But as far as the Christmas tree, I'm done with real trees for a while because those needles get everywhere. And I know you got to water them and you got to do all this maintenance on them. And there was a year where I don't know what happened, but the tree would not suck up the water. Even though I drilled holes in the bottom of it, it just would not suck up the water.
And it died.
Oh, the thing was horrible. And I'm sitting here thinking, I bet this will burn really, really well. And so after Christmas was over, I had a little burning pit in the backyard where we used to live in Georgetown, and I just threw a match on that thing. And, I mean, it went up and almost caught the trees in the backyard on fire because that flame was so high. And I said, no wonder why these Christmas trees are so dangerous in a house. You know, back in the day with the lights that used to heat up. Now the LEDs don't really do that, but yikes, man.
We used to have real trees when I was growing up. That's what my mom would buy. But I promise you they weren't $200 because we probably didn't spend that a month on groceries,
Yeah.
let alone a Christmas tree.
I mean, it's just, it's nuts how expensive things have gotten. And I'm hoping, this is another crazy thing. When is inauguration? Is that on the 15th? Is that next Wednesday?
If it's the 15th.
Is that the inauguration day?
See, I pay a lot of attention to that. I'm so over politics.
Yeah,
so we're not
same.
even
But
going to go there.
No, the 20th. Wow. And I'm looking at all this. It's the 60th presidential inauguration. So, of course, presidents have had 2 terms. So it's like, that's kind of weird because I guess that makes sense. No? How is it the 60th when we've only had 47 presidents? You get what I'm saying?
Maybe if somebody died, they may have had to inaugurate the vice president. I mean, I don't think that many people have died.
Yeah.
If they are, I would just stop running for president.
Did you know, here's something funny though, did you know being president is the most dangerous job?
I would imagine.
And it has like the highest mortality rate. Because if you think about it, there's been a few that have been assassinated, and there's only been 47 of them. So your chances of something happening are, not good.
Yeah.
So, and I hope and pray we never see anything like that, again, with everything going on. And
Shows our enemies signs of weakness.
And, I don't want to go down that train, but you just think about everything that happened at New Year's. And I had a friend, he and his wife went to New Orleans. They already had this plan like a day after. And they said it was just so somber, like everything in that, obviously, as it you can expect. But it's those moments, and we've mentioned it here on this program before, Toy, it's those moments that it seems like it takes these tragedies to bring people together. And my prayer for kind of this new year is for people to come together and step away from being so divisive because of politics. I have friends all across the spectrum, and there's been so many people that, after what happened with this past year's presidential race, like, I'm getting off, I'm not talking to these people, or we just need to come
turn that off and
focus on the good, and focus on being positive, and focus on being there for each other, because I guarantee in the biggest moment of need, all those kind of things don't matter, right?
That's right.
If somebody's out on the side of the road and they need help and they're waving down somebody, the first question isn't going to be who you voted for. It's going to be, hey, what can I do to help you? If they genuinely, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've never been in a situation to where somebody needed something, It's like the other day there was a guy, unfortunately, I still go to McDonald's. That's one of my resolutions I'm trying to break through free of. But there was a guy there, and I just felt the tug to go talk to him. And I listened to his story, and we talked toy, and he told me that he had numerous strokes. He wasn't even asking for anything. He was just there, and we talked. But it's like, my first question to him was like, "Hey man, who do you support in the White House?" You don't go down those kind of trails. But yeah, the 20th is the inauguration day. I kind of have a feeling that's on a Monday. I kind of have a feeling that should be a federal holiday for you guys.
Yeah, I won't be here that day.
Yeah, it's a federal holiday.
Actually,
right?
it really is. It's Martin Luther King Day. I'm
is
pretty
the
sure.
20th? What?
Go look and see. I think MLK is on the 20th.
That's crazy. So how's the inauguration day?
I don't know.
Does it fall? Because is the inauguration day always on the 20th?
I'm not really sure, but
You've opened up a
I do
cool-
know that that's a federal holiday, so I really won't be here.
Yeah, you won't be here. You've opened up a really cool can of worms that I had no idea about. So we'll have to look at, in a good way, we'll have to look that up and see. Well, hey, we are here again. A lot going on in our community. I want to encourage you to go to hellohuntsvilletx.com. Make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to that newsletter. It's going out now to over 2,100 people here locally in our community, and almost half. We're down 49% of people. It used to be 51, but there's so many subscribers. We're down to 49% of people that open that, but it's still a good number, and we would love for you to be a part of it. I want to encourage you too. Whenever you sign up for the newsletter, there is an option to support us and pay. But please, you don't have to. And I say this because it ultimately ends up hurting us if you go back and see something on your credit card statement and say, oh, that's fraud. I had somebody else, we've had 2 people do that now from our newsletter that have intentionally signed up for it. And I say intentionally because there's a box where you have to say yes, and you put in your credit card information and you hit submit. And I had a gentleman call me several months ago and say, yeah, man, you guys scammed me. I was like, I don't even know who you are. Well, you charged me for something. I said, yeah, it was the newsletter. You chose to pay for it. You don't have to. You can pay for free. He swore up and down that he didn't do that and said, well, you got my credit card. So I said, sir, I did not get your credit. I don't even know who you are. Well, he called me back the next day and said, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, it was my wife. But the damage had already been done. And so we ended up getting hit with all these fees. And so it doesn't sound like a lot, but $80 quickly turns into almost $100. And
Yeah, and unfortunately, in the financial industry, sometimes what happens is vendors or merchants, so you could have, Rob Hip LLC, but it's for Hello Huntsville, and people don't know you specifically by name potentially, and so they're like, I don't know what Rob Hip LLC is, and they come in and dispute it, and then they realize, oh, wait a minute, I did subscribe to that, this is my subscription, and so unfortunately that happens, and then of course some people sell credit card information, and
Yep.
I don't know. Read the fine print, people. There's all kinds of stuff going on, but there are legit, obviously, merchants and vendors and things like that. But we see a lot of that, unfortunately. And under certain dollar amounts, financial institution actually takes the loss for it.
Wow. Do you mind if I see that microphone real quick? There's something weird, like it never does this. I'm having some sort of weird feedback. Hold on one second, Toy. We'll just turn it off and back on. It never does this. I mean, you're sitting right there. Yeah, it's weird. It's like buzzing. That's why I'm trying to fix it. This is the joy of live production, by the way. You never know kind of what's going to happen, Hold on one second. That's so strange. It's never done that before. It's like the audio gremlins are coming after us today for some reason.
Hello, caller. Are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just weird. It's like buzzing, which is really strange. Anyways, yeah, so that's my story. Please don't. And I thought I was being proactive by saying, hey, if you just cancel that dispute, I will refund your money because this is ultimately going to cost us more. Well, they never got back to me. And so I went ahead and submitted evidence that they legitimately signed up for this. And I will gladly refund their money, but they didn't take the time to contact me back. Yeah. So now it ends up costing us not only the $80 that they paid, which we've already budgeted with, but then it hits me up with fees on top of it that I'm liable for, not the platform. So sign up for the newsletter, but if you don't want to pay for it, please don't. And if you've previously paid for it, go back and double check that you didn't do an annual because it will recharge you annually. I have no control over that. That's you. When you click I accept and do all that, that's on you, and that will come back and hurt us big time for a small business. If
Yes.
it's a large business, it doesn't matter. It's like, whatever, we'll just write it off. For
That's
us,
a business expense is
Yeah.
how they look at that.
100%. So, well, hey, some other things going on. I know you guys, it's a new year, so annual meeting is probably right around the corner, right? When's y'all's annual meeting coming up? Later this summer?
Yeah, later this summer.
Or is it spring? When
No, it's actually February 20th.
Oh, wow. That's coming up quick then.
Yeah, it's still cold. And usually, last few years, we've had cold and rainy. So, but yeah, our annual meeting of members, we usually have door prizes and just giveaway items, and we serve dinner. It's in the evening time. And we have our elections for our board of directors for expiring terms. And it's an opportunity for the staff to mingle on a more personal level, if you can get more personal than what we do in the office on Monday through Friday. Anyways, but yep, we have that coming up, and it's the one time a year that I have to get up and speak in front of a group of people, which is not my favorite thing to do.
You don't enjoy that?
I do not. I don't mind doing this because I can hide behind the, I don't have anybody staring at me like face to face. So.
There's a million people that watch this show now, by the way, Toy. So,
Well, sorry, I'm not that great in the public.
no, you do
Public,
wonderful.
whatever. So.
But that's cool, though. So anyone who's a member of the credit union can come to this meeting. I know you guys invited me the past couple of years. I haven't had a chance to go, but I'm definitely going to try to go this year. For some
It's
reason,
at the storm shelter this year. We've changed locations a couple of times, but the storm shelter was the facility that we opted to go with this year that was available for us we usually have around 100 people
wow.
show up. So it's a required event, and we try to make it desirable. So I don't know. We may change it up in the
Giveaways?
future.
Is there like door prizes?
We do door prizes.
Yes.
We do cash door prizes.
Okay.
And then we have, of course, branded prizes that we give away when you walk in the door. Everybody gets something. So, and then we do all kinds of fun little stuff. So our board chair speaks usually, which is Tammy Gann. And she's been with us I know she's been on the board since I have been in my position, which is 12 years now.
Wow, cool.
And she usually gives the full presentation for the board of directors and speaks to the members. And then our chair of our supervisory committee gives the audit report. So.
Wonderful. Well, there's a lot of great benefits to being a credit union member. I love it because, I even have I already have a life insurance policy, for myself if something happens. So Bridget and the kids are taken care of. But you guys offer another one that's already included in your membership. It's a small one, but that's enough to pay for a funeral cost. And then on top of that, you guys have warranties, car warranties, opportunities for insurance. It's really neat how y'all partner with other vendors to provide resources to people. It's not just a bank account.
The credit union industry itself is typically is a very cohesive group. There's a lot of vendors out there that are designed obviously for credit unions only, and so they specialize in things that the members need or want or like or whatever. So we are fortunate to have some good partners that offer legit products.
And I think the biggest thing too for me, and this is true for anyone that's out there listening, people want to have they want to be able to do remote deposit, and they want to be able to have an app that they can easily do things on. They want to have great customer service. Before I really knew what a credit union was, I thought it was like this exclusive club that was high dollar luxury. You got to be big timer to get in.
It's exclusive.
Yeah, it's definitely exclusive, but you know what? Anybody can be a part of a credit union. And don't be misled by thinking that only these big institutions that are nationally known or globally known have the resources that you need. Walker County Federal has met every single need and exceeded the service that I really expected. They just do a tremendous job, got all of our loans there, all the same features that the former big bank that I used to bank at has. And you know what? I don't even have to pay monthly service charges either, which is so nice. There's one more account that I need to move over to you guys, and that's my sports broadcasting business. And I have 2 partners with that, and I just got to coordinate a time to get all them together and come down and do that. But it's, we're getting hit with service charges from that big bank now, and because we're slowly kind of, I wouldn't say we're going out of business with that company, but we're downsizing what we're doing, and so we're now below the deposit limit. We don't expect it to go over because we've changed the way that we run that business now. But yeah, they're hitting us up with fees, and I'm like, we just need to close this account and just move it over to locally.
Sometimes, I mean, obviously, a lot of the fees and things like that come from, the purpose of them is to help support the, daily operations and offer these products and services that people desire and need. But I think that when you do get excessive, you don't have people's best interest. There's ways to function without all of that. Unfortunately, some of the larger institutions are more excessive in those expenses, and of course, they do probably have a lot more overhead, if you will. But we have really tried hard to maintain the culture that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as we can function, pay our staff, and provide these products and services, and not get too aggressive, we will continue to do that. It's inevitable that we need to grow, but I have really tried hard to keep it at a pace that's still what our members currently
with that customer service.
Yeah.
A lot of times when you grow, you lose that, and you guys are doing a great job.
It's hard not to do that. I mean, our phones ring constantly, and it is important to us to be able to answer that phone call and not have a call center assist with those. And some days it's better than others, and so if you are a member and you do call and it rings a bunch, just know that there's probably somebody else that's calling times 10. And so it does get a little hairy, but we have tried so hard to maintain that culture. So
when I had my IT company, we thought we were big time because we got so busy that we had to outsource. We started outsourcing calls, for us, it worked out because we had it was an after hours deal, not during. It was either after hours or if the phone rang more than like 4 times. But it was cool because it was an American-based call center, and we had a personal relationship we had like an account manager, and so she knew exactly how we wanted the phones answered. And so when people would call, they'd be like, "Hey, y'all got some great new employees over there." It's like, "Yeah, they're doing great." and no one ever knew because, But I think if you ever get to that point, you guys will know how to manage that and do that correctly. And that's just the great service you'll get. So go by and see them. Normal Park Road. It is our friends at Walker County Federal. Yes. Let's head over to the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line. I'm going to give away a Cafe Texan gift card today to somebody. And I think this person's won recently. It's a European dial tone.
Is it going to speak European?
It's my heart rate this morning. Do you hear that?
Hi, this is Lacey.
Oh, wow. Miss Lee did not answer. You did not win, Miss Lee, and I'm so terribly sorry. All right, let's head back to another one here. This is another person that's won pretty recently. Good thing we don't give. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Bubba.
Hi, Bubba.
Don't ever talk to me. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man? It's Kyle Kreiner. What's up, Brisketeer, buddy? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
It's 20 degrees in Odessa. Is there ice on the roads there, or is it just clear and 20?
No, it's sunny, and it warmed all the way up, man. It's now, hang on, I'll tell you.
22.
It is 25.
25 now in Odessa.
Yeah, so we done warmed up 25%.
That's Toy's favorite temperature, by the way. She doesn't like it like 28 or 20, but she likes it 25.
No.
It's a nice
promise.
round number.
85.
Do you know Kyle?
I don't know Kyle.
So
I've heard the name.
Kyle is who we call the brisketeer of Huntsville. If y'all ever need a brisket for the cred over there, for the credit union, Kyle's the guy. You need to get him to come in and cook y'all a good brisket. He does a great job. So, Kyle, how long are you in East Texas or West Texas for, man?
I don't know. Probably another couple weeks.
Oh, man. Okay, perfect. Well, I got time to get that gift card then. That's great, man.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, hey, appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for all that you do, man, and be safe out there. All right, Kyle, we'll see you when you get back, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Take care.
All right, you too, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Kyle watches our show every morning. He's been a faithful watcher. So, well, hey, that'll wrap it up. We've had fun today with Toy hanging out. I think everything's just kind of frozen today. So as the week goes on, I want to tell you this too. I mean, I really don't want to tell you, Toy, but I'm going to have to. Thursday, things get a little interesting around here because some precipitation moves into the area. Wednesday night, 30% chance of freezing rain, low of 30. Thursday, we may barely get above freezing for the high. National Weather Service has us pegged at 37 degrees here in Huntsville with an 80% chance of freezing rain and rain throughout the day.
I think I may work from home those 2 days.
I get really annoyed when it's like 33 degrees and it rains because to me it's a waste of the cold. I would much rather it have some sort of like winter feel to it with ice or snow or sleet than it being a cold 33-degree rain. I just don't like it. I don't like the cold rain.
I don't like the cold, and I certainly don't like the cold rain.
And how about this? Thursday night, a low of 32, 80% chance of rain Thursday night.
You're being mean.
Yeah. And
so what's Friday look like?
Friday, showers before 9, high of 41. Saturday, sunny, 49.
We will feel like we had a heat wave on Friday.
And then Sunday, rain back in the forecast, a high near 52. So, you know what you can do on Friday? Come by the credit union, set up a new bank account, get some cookies, and stay warm.
Absolutely.
Toy, appreciate you. Anything else you wanted to wrap up with? It's been fun. Thanks for hanging out today.
No, I don't have anything. Hope everybody has a great week.
Yeah, absolutely. Karen's out today, and so she's doing okay, just taking care of a few things, and so she'll probably be back with us next week or the week after. So, Karen, we missed you today, but Toy doing a great job coming in as well. And do you ever make it out to the trivia that her and Denise do?
No, before I didn't do it because Kylan had gymnastics that same night at the same time. And now that's one of the days that we can actually go home and function, do homework or whatever it requires, so.
Bridget and I made it a couple of weeks ago, and I love going when we can, but our children make it really difficult, not using them as a way to say, hey, we can't do it, but it's the truth. And they didn't really sleep well that night because we were up so late. They're used to going to bed at like 7:30.
When we spend 2 or 3 nights a week of 5 on school nights and stuff like that, it makes it extremely challenging for her. And I feel like we don't spend enough time together as it is. I feel like life is just a blur most days. So.
What's like a bedtime for you that you try to be in bed by?
Me?
Yeah.
It'd be nice to be in bed by 11 o'clock. I don't normally go to bed at 11 o'clock. And then I have 2 dogs that wake me up in the middle of the night.
That's the worst.
Well, one of them. She's obnoxious.
My golden jumps on the bed every night at like 3 a.m., jumps on the side of the bed and nudges me with his nose.
I have 2 boxers, and you can ask Steph about them.
All right. Well, hey, that'll wrap it up. Thanks for hanging out. We'll be back tomorrow. Jason Thompson, Guardian Defense. And we've got a great shows lined up all week long. In fact, on Thursday, we're going to have a gentleman from here at First join us, a musician that is a new member of our church, but he's going to share some really cool insight of some music that he used to do back in the day. We're also going to have an opportunity to support another young person in our community. We'll have those details and more on Thursday, but throughout the week, make sure you stay locked into Hello Huntsville. Big thank you to Toy Williamson and our friends at Walker County Federal Credit Union. You hear about them every Monday. Please go by and support them. They're investing in our community. We want to make sure that we are investing back in them and the great work that they do. So go by, see them, set up a new account, let them know you heard about it here on this program and also through our website at Hello Huntsville. As I end every show, reminding you this morning, we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement. and lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Until tomorrow morning, we will see you back at it bright and early, 7:30. Good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. Thank you, Toy.
You're welcome. Thank you.